What a ridiculous indictment that was. That was the craziest indictment they've ever seen. There's no crime. In fact, they said if he lost, he gets no jail. Think of this. This is what they're doing, and they're going to spend $200 million on prosecuting a crime where there's no crime. There was no crime, nothing done there either. But they just want to get Donald Trump. The Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, she campaigned, I will get Trump. We're going to get him. She doesn't even know me. Never met her. Never met the young lady. We're going to get her. He said, Peekaboo James. I will immediately sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on our children. And likewise, I will immediately take care of this. I will keep men out of women's sports. And who believes I even have to say this? Can you imagine having to say this? Where did this country go? Where did our minds go? They got blown up by drugs or something. I will sign a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. President, all of my documents fell under what is known as the Presidential Records Act, which is not at all a criminal act. Everything. It's all judged by the Presidential Records Act. In this whole fake indictment, they don't even once mention the Presidential Records Act, which is really the ruling act, which this case falls under 100%, because they want to use something called the Espionage Act. Doesn't that sound terrible? Oh, espionage. We got a box. I got a box. The espionage. I had every right to complain that the election in Georgia was, in my opinion, rigged, that the election in Georgia was a disaster. I mean, when I left office and was moving to Florida, boxes were openly sitting on the White House sidewalk. Everybody was taking pictures of them. This isn't somebody smuggling boxes out. Pictures of them you've all seen. It's sitting with people from GSA and other people waiting to put them on a truck. But they were literally sitting outside of the White House waiting for a truck to come. Then the truck come. It was there for a long time, and they put it in, and they brought it down to Florida. And they make it sound like it's a big, if that's a spy operation or if that's something bad, we did a very poor job, I will tell you. First thing you learn is don't put them on the sidewalk in front of the White House. She was protected by the Democrats. Biden was not indicted, and what he's done is terrible. You know, they like to say, well, what Trump did. I mean, actually, I was impressed. It looked so orderly and nice. Somehow somebody turned over one of the boxes. Did you see that? I said, I wonder who did that. Did the FBI do that? Because they also did something where they put documents all over the floors and they took pictures and they tried to pretend like I did it, and then they had to apologize they did it. Remember that famous picture? And to further deter illegal immigration, I will sign a day one executive order. We're going to do an executive order day one. So important. Ending automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. Right now, we don't have any ammunition. Ukraine has our ammunition, all of it, just about. Think of it, I rebuilt our military. We had so much ammunition. We were stuffed to the gills, as the expression goes, with ammunition. And now we have very little ammunition to protect ourselves. And then you see that he's getting large amounts of money from Ukraine, and then you wonder, why are we doing this? And by the way, that war, I'd have it negotiated and end. It's a horrible thing. In 24 hours between Zelensky and Putin. 24 hours. Everyone says, oh, you don't mean that. No, I'd have that thing done in 24 hours. And this won't be a conventional war with army tanks going back and forth, shooting each other. This will be nuclear war. This will be obliteration, perhaps obliteration of the entire world. I will prevent it. Nobody else can say that. I know all the players. I deal with them, and I dealt with them very successfully, and they respected your president, and they respected your country. And now they don't have any respect for your president or your country. Jamie and Jim and all of the people together. But the news doesn't want to pick it up. These are the biggest scandals ever in the history of our country, where a president of the United States is being paid off. And to try and deflect that, he said, let's try and arrest a president that served before him and had an unbelievable success record, a record like really very few presidents, if any, have ever had over a 4-year period. And unlike my competitor, who I got elected, by the way, Ron DeSanctimonious, who voted to gut Medicare and voted to gut Social Security 3 times and to raise the retirement age to 70. That's a big increase. I will always protect Medicare and Social Security for our great nation. They knew. They saw all those red hats and all those bandanas and all that stuff that was going in with Make America Great Again, America First. They've never seen anything like it, and they were lost by a whisker. But remember this, on the call, I say it now, nobody complained. It was a long time afterwards. Nobody said, oh, that was... And if they were going to complain, they have to complain against me. They have to say, why did you say that, sir? Why did you say that? You know, they're so virtuous. They're such babies. I'm sorry. They couldn't stand. And the Attorney General and the local district attorneys to interfere in our elections at a level that our country and few countries have ever seen before. They're cheating, they're crooked, they're corrupt. These criminals cannot be rewarded. They must be defeated. You have to defeat them. Have to defeat them. Because in the end, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way. Here I am. I'm standing in their way, and I always will be. Thank you very much.